Hello there. Today, on Jeremy's Kitchen, I'm doing something I never thought I would do. I'm going to show you how to cook a Tide Pod. Now for this episode, it's going to call for a special kitchen appliance that I keep in the other room. So, let's head that way. And here we are. I like to call these my shake and bake machines. This one is going to create a sauce, and it's going to soak our ingredients in it to get all that flavor from the Tide Pod. And then this one is going to tumble bake our ingredients until they get to a proper serving temperature. I just want to start off by telling you how difficult it actually is to buy a Tide Pod these days in 2018. Honestly, it's easier to buy weed. If you want to buy weed in this town, you just follow the sound of acoustic guitars and the smell of patchouli and you're good. But if you want to get a Tide Pod, you got to bring 3 forms of identification and sign a waiver. The other ingredients for this recipe, on the other hand, are not so difficult to find. In fact, I think everyone has them, because laundry. So what we're going to do is fill the shake and bake machines with our laundry, and we're going to throw that Tide Pod right on in there. Great. Now I think a lot of people my age find it very difficult to use a shake and bake machine at home because of the crazy amount of buttons on the machine itself. But here, this one has a cool button, so I'm just going to set it to cool. And it also has a regular button. I'm going to set it to cool and regular, just like me. Now my shake and bake machine has this cool feature on it where it locks the lid while it's filling with sauce. And the reason we do that is because we don't want to eat the Tide Pod straight. That's too much for once. What we want to do is really soak up the flavors in the ingredients and just get that flavor really locked in there. Now, while we let our ingredients soak up the flavor and get nice and tasty in the shake and bake machine, you know me, I like to have a little drink while I'm cooking. So I picked this stuff up. It's I use Persil. It's delicious. It's right next to the Tide Pods, actually. And so we're just gonna take a little shot of that. Tasty. Now, if that's too much for you, and you need something to really soak up all the liquid in your stomach, because it's a very, very thick drink, I got these cotton candy sheets. These ones taste like lavender, and you just kind of chew on it, and it'll soak up all the booze in your system, and it's wonderful. And the great thing about these is they serve another purpose. If you don't eat the whole thing, because there's quite a bit there, what you can do is throw it into the second round of the shake and bake machine, and that's going to act as sort of a garnish for our ingredients, if you will. Now, the second part to the shake and bake machine is much simpler because it's got a knob here that we can just set to any time that we want. So I'm going to go ahead and set it for 60 minutes, and then by that time, our recipe should be completed. Wow, that 60 minutes went by quick. Let's check on our stuff. Now that's fresh. Well, that should about do it for our Tide Pod episode of Jeremy's Kitchen. Quick disclaimer from me and Guy here. They don't actually serve Tide Pods in Flavortown because they're not a food. They're for doing laundry. Quit eating Tide Pods. See you next time.